Scrolling the Sword, welcome back. We just read 13 through 15 of 2 Samuel, and I'm going to bounce around a little bit. I've liked doing that recently. I'm going to be in chapter 13 and 15 today, but, we just read that David's house is falling apart. Amnon violates Tamar. David gets angry but does not bring justice, and Absalom waits, murders Amnon, and eventually steals the hearts of Israel. This is not random family drama. It is the sword David was told would come into his house. The shocking part is this: God's covenant promise survives again, but David's passivity still produces pain. Amnon was David's firstborn son and the natural heir to the throne, but being close to the throne does not make a man fit to carry it. Position cannot cover corruption. David hears what Amnon did to Tamar, becomes angry, but the text gives no meaningful act of discipline. Anger without action, it can look righteous, and that, parents are really good at that, just being angry, but we don't want to change things, but it can look righteous while leaving victims abandoned. Outrage is not justice. It's just like we see it all over social media these days. We see picket lines, just outrage, outrage, outrage. That's not social justice. John Woodenhouse connects the violence in David's house to the fallout of David's own sin with Bathsheba and Uriah. The sins leaders excuse in themselves can become the chaos their children inherit. What you end up tolerating will become your legacy. And our culture is full of families, churches, and institutions that mistake silence for peace and avoidance for wisdom. That's what our culture wants right now, man. I just posted a reel about not taking a bathroom break at the exact moment when the altar call opens. Like, who would have thought? Like, hey, any other time right here when you need to respond or when other people need to respond, like, let's just not do it right now. I'm telling you, like, I posted it today and I got 7 or 8 comments already from Christians saying, oh, you're just too mean. What about, you might have hurt somebody's feelings, da, 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 da. And I'm just like, when did we forget like that heaven and hell was on the line? I cannot avoid this any longer. Are some people going to the bathroom because they actually need to? Absolutely. Do some people have physical issues that might make them need to? Absolutely. Do other people, do they just not understand that the moment that they're in is sensitive? For sure. They need to change what they're doing. And are some people absolutely avoiding the altar call because they know they need to respond? And if they just use the bathroom as an excuse, they can walk out into the lobby and just sit there and twiddle their thumbs and not even go to the bathroom? Abso-freaking-lutely. And that's why I had to address it. I'm not going to be silent for peace sake. That's not wise. Unaddressed sin does not disappear. It grows teeth and it starts eating the entire house. Passivity feeds destruction. And Absalom waits 2 years, murders Amnon, flees, returns, and eventually turns Israel's heart away from King David, his father. When justice is absent, vengeance starts pretending to be righteousness. The collapse of David's older sons clears the way for Solomon, the unexpected heir born after David's worst failure. God can keep his promise through a broken family, but that does not mean the brokenness was harmless. Promise survives, but the wounds absolutely remain. And the Davidic covenant promised discipline with the rod of men, the Bible says. Yet God's steadfast love would not depart from David's line. God's faithfulness is strong enough to preserve the covenant and holy enough to discipline the house. Mercy and discipline absolutely can walk together hand in hand. Modern Christianity often wants restoration without reckoning, forgiveness without truth, and legacy without repair. But 2 Samuel shows us that God can redeem a house, but he will not pretend the house is healthy. Grace does not rename dysfunction as peace. We just need to get that straight. And the takeaway today is David's house did not collapse because God's promise failed. It collapsed because sin was tolerated. Justice was delayed and wounds were left unattended. But even there, God's covenant did not die. The promise kept moving toward a better son of David. Jesus would carry the throne without David's corruption. He would bring justice without Absalom's vengeance, and he would heal what broken kings could only expose. Love y'all. See you in the discussion room.